everybody, group project time. Let's get started.
Great, another one?
Does anyone even know what the topic is?
I think it's on transmisogyny.
Okay. What is that?
Yeah, so it's like, it's kind of, so when, to be honest, I'm not really sure.
That's okay, guys. I got you all covered. So let's break it down a little bit into 3 key definitions. Trans comes from transgender. Transgender means denotating or relating to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender does not correspond with their birth sex. Everyone got that? Cool. Great. So the next term is misogyny. Misogyny is the hatred of, aversion to, or prejudice against women. Still following? Awesome. Okay, so that leads us into the question at hand. What is transmisogyny? Transmisogyny is discrimination or prejudice against transgender women. According to Julia Serrano, transmisogyny is steeped into the assumption that femaleness and femininity are inferior to and exist primarily for the benefit of maleness and masculinity.
Yeah, and over time, the world of transmisogyny has changed and developed to include many facets. Transmisogyny was used to describe the intersection of misogyny and transphobia faced by trans women. It is also important to note the role that nonconformity and intersectionality plays in transmisogyny. In terms of nonconformity, I give you the creative term of gender panics. Gender panics are people's assumptions of what someone's gender might be. When someone trans comes along, those assumptions are challenged and they try to repair those beliefs. In terms of intersectionality, I will draw your attention to the Center of Transgender Equality and the statistics they have on being a person of color and transgender.
Oh, okay. I understand now. So it's more than simply being a trans woman. There are more factors that will influence people's behavior towards them.
Exactly.
Wait, I still don't get it. I still don't understand the difference between misogyny and transmisogyny.
Don't worry, I can give you some examples. So an example of just misogyny would be a cis man telling a cis woman, "You're pretty strong for a woman," when she's at the gym. The implication being that women are inherently weaker, and this particular woman is strong despite of her genetic disadvantage, and also implies that she can never reach the strength of a male. On the other hand, an example of transmisogyny would be a feminist cis woman telling a transgender woman, "You can't be assertive and push your ideals on other people because that's something a man would do." This same cis woman would then in turn tell another cis woman to be assertive and stand up against social norms. This harmful double standard imposed not only by cis men, but cis women as well, is what plagues the transgender community.
Yeah. And another example would be like the issue concerning voice handicap. So like there's this transgender self-evaluation questionnaire that Stephanie Hayes did. And basically it kind of goes over the idea of voice and how trans women particularly are expected to have a feminine voice, but what is a feminine voice? And then there's a great deal of discrimination concerning how people almost fear even going on public transportation because of the violence that could be enacted by being a trans person and not having a stereotypically feminine voice.
Okay, wow. Thank you guys. That was all really great information. I feel like I have a real understanding for it now.
Great, but we still need to figure out how we're actually going to present the information to the rest of the class.
I don't know, maybe we could do like a PowerPoint or something?
Yeah, that works for me.
All right, cool. Then let's get to it.